Hello everybody, I hope you're well. I'm feeling jolly good. But I wanted to do a quick video on these. These are what are they called? Sequre tweezers. Everyone raves about them. And I've managed to break one of the pincers there. Got some new ends. A lot of people are saying that these output a dangerous voltage. Like there can be like 50 odd volts on these pins and they're not grounded. Now, some people have come up with some pretty ingenious solutions to that. Ian Scott Johnson did, and it was USB-C, but he basically says run it off one and then earth the other, because these are all common, as you will see here. So the idea being that you're powering it off one, and then from here you're earth strapping. So you'd have your powering it from that one, and this one would be clipped to something, and that's basically earthed it. Then I thought, are people missing a trick here? Because mine came with an additional cable that I've now mislaid. It's this cable here, and I thought, why has it got that on it? And I thought, I wondered if any of these screws are earthed or connected to the tip, and it turns out that one isn't, because that's just the hinge, but these two are. So I think what you're supposed to be doing here is taking this strap, undoing the screw, putting it around there, and then you've got the thing earthed. Let's try it out, let's see what happens. By the way, I'm not moaning or anything, but mine didn't come with a power supply, it came with a foam brick. So maybe some people are getting a power supply but no strap. Maybe some people are getting a strap but no power supply, I don't know. Anyway, on with the show. Usual caveats apply, messing around with mains voltage is not recommended. So to test this, I've got the Anchor power supply here, which is going to the tweezers. Then I'm going to shove the negative of my fluke meter into there, which is the earth, not anything else other than the earth. So just to check, that's earth, not via any resistors on my ESD mat. So one sec, I'm just going to put that on the floor. The other one of these is in the earth of the mains. Let's plug it in with a USB. I'll set you to volts AC. You can see that yeah, we've got 84 volts AC on those. How much current's behind that I don't know, but I think Ian Scott Johnson did a calculation, but it's not insignificant. So that's without any power. Let's power her up. That one turns it on, sets it off. Right, so there's no difference between the AC voltage on this thing, powered or not powered. DC voltage, nothing. Got a connection between there and there. After a little bit of jerry rigging, I've managed to get a direct connection to earth with no power going through it. The AC voltage is now 0. It was 84 volts. It's now 0. DC voltage 0. Hold down the button to make sure it knows we want to give it some power. 0, or more or less 0. 0 AC, 0 DC. So that's worked. Take the other end of this and plug it into your ESD safe thing. So now this and the mat are all at the same reference. The reason we have to do all of that is because this doesn't have an earth pin. If you've got one of these power bricks, despite what this one looks like, it's actually decent, and the negative of the barrel jack is connected to earth, you don't have to worry about anything I've just showed you, because the barrel jack here is connected to the end of the tweezers. Excuse the tape, that's just because I don't want my new earth strap coming off. So if you're running one of these, and it's what we call main earth reference, I think, where that's connected to that, you don't have to worry about doing the earth strap. Zero AC, 0 DC. Okay, I'm going to power it up. Zero. You've got one of these bricks that's only got a figure eight power connector like that. then it's not earthed. There's no earth reference because you've only got a line on the neutral connector. Now, I don't actually know whether it's a good idea to go earthing the tips with a strap like this. In that case, I probably wouldn't suggest you do that because I don't know enough about it, and you know, some of these things inside are pretty shocking. I would do it as a test just to see whether it works, but I'm not suggesting you do this. Okay, it's a very similar setup. The other end of this is in mains earth, not going via the ESD mat. The tweezers themselves are direct to earth on the desolder gun, not going via the ESD mat. Without any power to it, we're more or less zero. We're more or less zero. With power to it, we're more or less zero. We're more or less zero. Like I say, I'm not advising you to do that. That was just an experiment. One thing I've noticed, the other end of this is in mains earth, more or less in the wall, with no resistor. This has got a 1 mega ohm resistor or a 2 mega ohm resistor for the ESD mat. The reason for that is that if you're going to put it around your wrist, you want a resistor between you and the earth, so you're not straight to earth. But if I reference the end of these tips to mains earth, when I've got the earth strap going via the 1 mega ohm resistor, I'm still getting 37 volts. Mind you, I'm still getting 37 volts or 31 volts on my mat. So basically this and the mat are the same, but relative to the earth, they're slightly different. If I was to take the reference for earth out and put it to the mat, then everything's singing from the same page. So that's clearly something to do with the resistor between the mat and real earth that comes out of the wall. Maybe someone can explain that in the comments, but I've been working with this mat that's showing that much difference to earth out of the wall for years now. I never had a problem. And I think the key thing is that this and the mat you're working on are at the same voltage. Anyway, those are my ramblings and experiments with these Sequre tweezers. Thanks very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you in the next one.